Hello and welcome back to a Chip Off the Old Block Toys. I'm Jeff, and today we're going to continue building the Ninjago City Markets, which is set 71799. We've already done a couple of these. I think this is the fourth one, and we have gotten pretty far. In fact, let me show you what we've done here. Let's change the camera here. All right, so we've gotten this far, and what does this far mean? I don't know. A little bit less than halfway. So today we're just going to keep building it according to whatever the instructions say. And we're going to go ahead and do that right now. I hope y'all are having a great day out there. I know that I am. I took one of my screens, meaning the insect screen to my windows, and I went ahead and had that rescreened because, well, I don't have any screens in this house except for one that doesn't have a hole in it. So, and several of them are actually missing altogether. And I'm on the pay-as-you-go program, so I only had one screen done. And I will have more screens done as more time is available and money. So, anyway, just one of the problems with buying this house. The other guy didn't take care of things very well. And there's still a lot of things that I'm kind of, I don't want to say paying for. It's too strong. There's a lot of things that I'm still having to fix maybe. But anyways, I hope you guys are having a great day out there. It is actually a little bit cooler today. I didn't run the AC. Actually, what I have is just a fan going in the background. So if it's too loud or it's too obnoxious, please let me know if it's disrupting the sound. If you can barely hear it, let me know. Just let me know how it is. So, and I do have one News of the Weird story that I wanted to talk to you guys about today. And let's see. Oh, come on. Stop it. Okay. So these go on the side. And these are just like little flower pot looking things. And that's one of the reasons I really do enjoy Ninjago. Ninjago's just got this nice blend of city with, I don't know what you call it. It's just a nice blend. It's got, come on. All right. I have laid out enough pieces to go for about an hour, I hope. It's always hard to tell what you're doing. But let's see. Oh, okay, so it's over here. So let's get to the News of the Weird story. And I would like your opinion afterwards. Oh, great. I don't know where it went. So there it is. I think, yeah, there it is. Okay. So the Imperial Heights neighborhood of North Houston, Texas, residents are in the dark after their homeowners association failed to pay the electric bill, as reported on July 1st. The energy company Reliant said the company that manages HOAs manages the HOA had a past due bill of $6,000 and that no bills have been paid since January. For their part, the management group announced the lights would be back on July 2nd, but declined to comment further. That right there to me is a really hot button. I do not like HOAs. I'm going to tell you that right now. I think HOAs are a complete waste. I think they are an overreach. I mean, I understand why they got started originally. It was to help property values. But since becoming a real thing, HOAs are actually crap. I mean, you hear about all these horror stories of things they do to people legally, and they really don't have any right to do it. And it's absolutely freaking ridiculous because the original idea of an HOA was not to have a bunch of Karens come together and complain about people's property. it was to maintain property values. But it's somewhere it got off the rails, and now, and I just dropped a piece, a very important piece too. I mean, I even had an HOA say that in the last house I lived in that you were not allowed to change oil in your own garage, not driveway, garage. I'm going to admit I didn't give a crap. I did it anyway. And I'm not going to have some place tell me that I can't save money. And I can do oil change for about $25 versus taking in for 80. Yeah, we're not going to listen when it comes to that. I will say that I have lived in, I don't know. Let's see. My very first house was in an HOA, but we were like only the 5th house in the subdivision. So the HOA didn't have much power yet. It was still in the hands of the construction company, and the construction company really didn't do much. The second time I was part of an HOA was when I lived in Layton, and I didn't really like living in the HOA area there, mainly because that was during the pandemic. And during the pandemic, they actually even told us they were loosening the standards, because you got to remember these are new houses being built, and a lot of people, were struggling to survive during that time. And so they said, we're going to relax our standards when it comes to what you need to do for your lawns. Well, that was great, because I moved in like literally 2 weeks before the pandemic started. And so, putting flowers up against the house wasn't exactly a priority when I'm struggling to just make sure I got food and toilet paper, if you know what I mean. We all remember those days, don't we? And they said they were going to be, lenient about it. Well, they were not lenient about it. They sent me harassing letters telling me that basically I needed to get my act together and to get the lawn done. And keep in mind, this is during the pandemic. And I got to be honest, I was kind of furious with them. And they threatened liens and everything. And I moved out and sold the house 2 years later, and I still had not fixed the problem. And they sat there and they sent me a threatening letter saying they were going to fine me. And it's like, yeah, I don't even own the house anymore. And I let them know that. And they said, we're still going to fine you. And I said, I don't own the house anymore. And that's another reason that I think HOAs have outdone their usefulness, is the fact that so many of them, they go on these stupid power trips for some reason. And I mean, I don't know how you're gonna find me when I don't own the property anymore. I sold it. I think you need to get a hold of the new owner, let him know there's a problem. But anyway, if you have an HOA story, I would love to hear it. Hey, John, how's it going? But I am not fond of HOAs underneath any stretch of the imagination. Yeah, I always, when I have a Lego build that has a string to it, when I put it away, I always use these right here. Well, John, ironically, the house that I live in right now is part of an HOA. However, we don't pay our HOA dues, and there really is no HOA. I bet you want an explanation for that. The reason we don't have an HOA here is the HOA that was here mismanaged the money, and they are no longer in existence. And believe me, I am crying so hard. So there's no dues for us to pay. Oh, cool. John, you got a set from Kobe. Awesome. But yeah, I hate HOAs. I'm glad the one that I live in went defunct, because now I don't have to deal with them. Well, not only that, I don't really know that an HOA would have been that much of a problem though in this area, because people kind of tend to keep themselves here. So I kind of doubt it would have been a problem. So I don't know if I've told you guys, but the previous owner, and I know I've had the property for 3 years, so it's kind of hard to keep complaining about them. But I will say that the previous owner was kind of a pig. He ran this place kind of like a pigsty, and I've got chunks of concrete. You know, I've got 3 acres, and I've got chunks of concrete just embedded in the ground in many different areas. And ever since I've been here, I don't want to pay to just take it to the dump all at once. So what I've been doing is putting a chunk or two, depending on the size and weight, because you can only have so much weight in the trash can. I've been picking up pieces every week and kind of, disposing of it very slow. Well, thank you. Is that from Fromania Bricks? And I'm sorry if I said that wrong. I don't mean to butcher names. Well, I hope we're done with this set next week, because I've got other sets I need to get to. And like I said, this is kind of a new segment, and we're going to be going with this for a couple weeks just to see how it goes. And if it goes pretty well, we'll continue it. If it doesn't, we'll just stop it. Stop it. Get help. I'm sorry. Reminded of that old commercial by Magic Johnson. John said, I had to put my name on the waiting list. It's out of stock. Yeah, I've had to get rid of barbed wire. I've had to get rid of car parts. I've had to get rid of a lot of stuff, to be honest, on this property. It's been very frustrating. I've pruned a couple trees because he never pruned trees at all. I do prune them better than Lego does, though. Lego's trees are pretty obnoxious. All right. I'm contemplating seeing F1 again. Formula One. All right. What's the what did you like about that movie, John? I've never seen it or seen previews, so that's why I'm asking. I'm not asking to be a jerk. I'm just asking because I don't know anything about it. Hey, Greg, how's it going? And John says, I have to finish the International Space Station before I get any more stuff. Yeah, that's kind of the rule I have for myself, too, is that I'm not allowed to buy new stuff unless I finish old stuff. That doesn't apply to Lego, by the way, but that does apply to everything else in my life. But yeah, after this, I'll be headed to the store to get my screen, my insect screen. It is done. And I'm looking so forward to having it. Oh, why did I grab this one? This is the wrong one. I'll be right back. I need to grab a different brick. Reorganization, yes. Hey, Greg, how it's going? All right. For me, it's been going pretty good. I had the one that had the plus sign for the axle instead of the round hole. I don't know if you can see that, but that's why I had to go grab a new one. No, today's good. I'm going to go pick up the insect screen afterwards and install it up here. And that way, after dark, I can open a window and avoid the insects, but at the same time, have some fresh air in here. I was kind of upset about that because they told me to be done on Tuesday, and I went in on Wednesday and they're like, oh yeah, it's not ready. Guy didn't show up. It's like, okay. Well, I mean, the guy wants to get paid, doesn't he? John says, reorganization. I shredded 3 bags of documents. No need to keep the stuff. When I was done shredding, I had 3 bags of shreds. Yeah, do you have the crosscut or just the regular, like spaghetti, like stringy stuff? I used to have a crosscut one, but unfortunately that died. It lasted 20 years though. I like the crosscut. You have the 12. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah. Okay, we got to move on to book number 2. And okay, so this is awesome because now we get to set this whole entire thing. Hey, Cajun, how's it going? We get to set this whole entire thing aside, and we get to start with a blank slate, the other half. We are not halfway done, though. We're only a third done. I thought we were about halfway done, but nope, because there's 3 books to this, and we just closed 1 book, so we're 1/3 of the way through this. And yeah, I'm going to try to do my math. Yeti, how's your morning going? Yeti and confetti. I love it. Okay, looks like I didn't grab enough of these either. I can go get it, though. It's not a problem. It's going good. How's your day? My day's been pretty good so far, and I'm going to pick up that insect screen that I had redone and put that in the window up here. And then I also bought some screws the other day. The boards on my deck are not all together, and it really kind of... So they have these little clip things in between the boards that's supposed to hold it on, but it doesn't. And he did randomly, the guy that built it did randomly put screws, straight down through the boards, but not enough. In fact, there's boards that are 12 feet long with no screws in it. And over time they separate, and then they get off the beam, and then they kind of sag and they'll break if you, So it's kind of a pain in the something I'm not going to say. So I bought a whole entire box of like 100 screws, and I'm going to go ahead and do that today as well. I'm going to put that together. Hopefully Spencer will help me out. It'd be a lot easier. So, and I just realized I didn't grab another piece, but I think I know exactly where it's at. Say hello to my new beagle. Excuse me. I didn't mean to do that loud, but oh shoot, I didn't bring any water. Well, I'm gonna need to grab some water. And also, I will say that I have been keeping with my excuse me. I have been keeping with my goal of no energy drinks. I'm almost on a month of no energy drinks. I feel a lot better. I will tell you also that my grocery budget loves it too, because they were like $2 and something each, and I was drinking 2 a day, so I was spending about $5 a day on that. So my wallet likes it too, because now I have more money in my grocery budget. It's awesome. And I've been lifting weights more as well. I'm just trying to take care of myself a little bit better. I could do better on the exercise bike. That's one area that has been more sporadic than I really care to say, but hopefully I can change that here. And okay, this thing's being a little silly. Been doing jump rope more. Awesome, dude. And it's a good thing you have a condo where you don't have anybody underneath you, right? Or you don't. No, you have a house, right? I forget. You know something, Yeti? You are 1,000% correct on that. Not only that, you wouldn't have anxiety that causes because heart failure and everything else. I quit energy drinks about 7 years ago, and I did my homework. They're very bad for you. They are, and they have been linked to blood cancers. Now, I say linked because I don't want to say they cause, because that creates a lawsuit situation. But studies have linked the ingredient taurine, I hope I'm saying that right, to blood cancers. And so they are extremely bad for you all around. And I mean, when I first stopped doing it, the headaches were awful. And the headaches lasted for about a week and a half before I was able to do that. And I don't drink coffee either. I regulated myself to just plain old water, and I'm a lot happier for it. So for the most part, and I know I just yawned real big, so this is really condensing. For the most part, my energy has been okay. And that's actually increased now that it's been almost a month. The most important thing I feel is that I just feel better. And I also noticed that I sleep better too. And, you know, you think that, oh, well, I took the energy drink way in the morning, I'll be fine in the evening. No, it still affects you. It's crazy. I don't drink coffee. I don't drink energy drinks, and I have natural energy. I've been doing this for years. I feel better. And plus, it's awesome. And cancer feeds off of any sugar. Yeah, it's amazing how you guys might know the story, and I'm sorry, I wasn't prepared to tell you the story, so I'm going to be missing a lot of the details. But when sugarcane was first, discovered by Americans or whatever, they did studies, and they actually offered an award to anybody who can prove that sugarcane was healthy for you. And many people tried, but they failed because they couldn't. I mean, the cattle kept dying. all kinds of problems they were having with it. But eventually they released it anyway, and now sugar's in everything. And it's not good for you. And I got to admit, too, I've had a song stuck in my head for several days now. Do you guys know that song, I Got 5 on It? It came out, I want to say, in the 90s. That song has been stuck in my head because somebody did a really cool video with some cats dressed as gangsters. And they had like a bunch of, well, I guess they call it bling, you know, like gold chains and stuff. And they were walking around to the beat of that song. And I thought it was so cute that I admit I've had that song stuck in my head for a couple of days now. And I've listened to it a few times and it's not getting out of my head. So, yeah. Hey, Hoarder, how's it going? I Got 5 on It. Yeah, I mean, I like that song. I mean, I liked it back when it came out, but now that somebody's remixed it to cats walking around as gangsters, it's been stuck in my head. I mean, I am a huge cat fan. Sorry, Enzo. The secret's out. I like cats. That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Keep going with that. And, you know, don't feel bad about, and I don't think you do necessarily feel bad, but I'm telling you, don't feel bad about changing it up, man, because that's just the way it goes. Like, if you do a mock and you don't end up changing something, I'd be really surprised because it's really hard to get it perfect the first time. And don't be surprised if 5 years down the road you take a look at it and you're like, dang it, I got to redo it because I don't like this and this and I want to redo all of it. I've done that with my builds right now. I have been Italian Gaming. What's up? How you doing, man? One thing that that Daily Bugle that I built, the 7-footer, I have been wanting to wreck that and redo it, and it's totally crazy because there's no freaking way I should redo it, man. Oh man, that'd just take up so much time. But I don't like the front. I think it should have a double glass sliding door, not just one. And so I've been fighting the urge to redo it. And also, I need to mow the lawn. Well, I say lawn, 3 acres. My goal is to make a minifigure scale New York and Jurassic Park. Awesome. And hello, Alexander L Studios. I'm sorry. That just didn't roll off the tongue for me. But how you doing, man? I would love to see a minifigure scale New York and Jurassic World. That would be awesome. I think the hardest part about this build is just laying out the pieces. It really does take a while. I got to get some money and see what's up with my back and chest. Yeah, dude, don't. I mean, I know you told me you're in your early 20s. Don't neglect that. Um, I know that I had, and I'm not trying to scare you, but I had my first spine surgery. I was like 28. And unfortunately, I've had 3 total spine surgeries now. And that's one thing that I love about people when they say, "Oh, you're lazy," and it's like, really? You know what? You know what? You know what? Not being lazy is not wanting to do stuff because it always hurts. Because I had a, and I don't know if I should really talk about this, but I had a mother-in-law that just was horrible, and everything she could do to criticize me. She tried to meddle in our marriage so many times. She told Mrs. Chip that she was settling. I mean, she's passed on now, but so she doesn't meddle anymore. But yeah, it was horrible at one time because it was always, "Oh, you could do better. What are you doing with him? He's lazy." It's like, really? I'm lazy. Okay, cool. Says the woman who's 400 pounds, but cool. I don't see any hypocrisy in that. Yeah, sorry. I didn't mean to get off on that, but yeah, my mother-in-law was horrible. So, don't miss her. You had a wife like that? Yeah. It's pretty frustrating because it's like, believe me, if you saw the stuff that I do every day and what I accomplish, there's no way you can call me lazy. And I loved how I was called lazy, but when my wife went to Iraq for a year, or actually it was 15 months, but when my wife went to Iraq, yeah, who was the one that had the kids? Yeah, I took care of 4 kids. The youngest was 3. And the oldest was only like 9 when my wife went to Iraq. And yeah, I was still lazy, and she still could have done better. But yeah, I just have this to say: how many guys could take care of 4 kids for 15 months with no help because you're in a foreign country and your family's not close by, and all the kids end up alive at the end of it? So anyway, I'm sorry, didn't mean to get off on that tangent, but yeah, I definitely had a terrible mother-in-law. The greatest Lego builders I have seen are Germans and Americans. Awesome. Thank you for the compliment. No, just kidding. I didn't. That's very presumptuous for me to assume you were speaking of me, which I know you probably weren't, but I was just joking around. But you know, you do have something right though. I've seen a lot of great builders too that are Americans and Germans. I also do like the Australians too, like the Australian Lego Masters. I haven't seen a whole lot of it, but I have seen a few clips here and there, and I have seen their builds, and I do like them. But you know, it's also, I would also say that part of the reason that I would say Americans are, I mean, better builders, and I'm not saying that we are, but you have to keep in mind that in a country like ours, if you look at Bricklink, there's a huge percentage of the stores that are in the U.S., and so parts are readily available here. And then plus we have regular Lego stores, and then we've got secondhand Lego stores here too. So it's really, yeah, it's really nice to have the availability of parts pretty much everywhere. And I have a sister-in-law who's from Russia, and she's always talking about how I don't speak pizza. Yeah, you know, I hate to tell you, but you're never going to be able to satisfy everybody. And I'm sorry you're going through that, by the way. I mean, having conflict with anybody is not fun. So but it's even worse when it's family. So, yeah. Oh, shoot, I messed that up. Let me clear that up. Okay, there we go. I love the water for this thing. I'm going to have to remember these techniques. Thank you very much. I appreciate that, Italian gaming. I really do. And because it's a little bit cooler today, I'm hoping that I have a little bit of time to run out to the shop and work on the city some more today. I mean, I just released a city video, so I'm not like due for one like right now, but I'd like to. And I also like to work on the Avengers Tower because I've moved the Avengers Tower to the shop. It was just too warm out here, or up here, I should say. And plus the space. I mean, the pieces are out there, so I was kind of fighting myself having to go out there every time I needed a piece if I didn't have it up here, which I don't have much pieces up here. So it just made sense to move it to the shop. So do you guys have any horror HOA stories? I'm curious because I told mine a little bit earlier. I was also stating earlier that the HOA that I technically live in an HOA subdivision. However, the HOA, whoever was here in the early days mismanaged the funds, and the HOA no longer exists. I mean, I don't know if they can just restart it one day or what, but nobody has, and I've lived here for 3 years, and I know my neighbors well enough to know that none of them would want it. So I'm actually very lucky when it comes to that. Man, I've been sitting in my bed because I can't really move too good. My back is killing me, man. I am sorry to hear that. I'm not a doctor, so I can't like tell you that this will work absolutely. But I will tell you a trick that I have used before in the past. And this works if you've got a pinched nerve. If you, or a bulging disc, I should say. If you lay flat on a floor, or hard floor, and you lay there for 10 minutes like that, for some reason it opens up the gaps in your back and relieves some of that pressure. And I've had to do that before many times. In fact, it was really cool when I worked at the hospital in person. Sometimes I'd be on my office floor and I would do that. And my manager understood. So when he came in and he saw me laying on the floor for a few minutes, he didn't get upset. He was actually really cool about it. So you may want to try that. I mean, I don't know what your issue is, so I can't say that'll work for sure, but I don't think it could hurt if you just lay on the floor. I hate the new Superman. Henry Cavill is better. Yeah, I haven't even seen the new Superman, And actually, I'm really surprised I haven't heard from my father-in-law. And that's the whole contrast of the whole thing. My mother-in-law was just horrible to me. My father-in-law, though, he didn't act that way towards me. He's always been kind to me. And he loves Superman. That's what brought that up. And I'm surprised I haven't heard from him about Superman. So, and my father-in-law, my mother-in-law passed away about 3 years ago now. My father-in-law, he's been dating and trying to find somebody, and he was actually engaged to a woman for about a year, and she told him yes when he asked to marry her. And well, about a year into it, she's like, "Oh, I don't want to get married anymore. We can just remain close friends," or whatever she said. And he was like, "Nope, that's not what I'm after. I want a committed relationship." And so he dropped her. But I'll tell you what, listening to him and his horror stories about dating, I have to admit, I feel very lucky that I am not on the dating scene. I would not want to date in today's world. It is just too freaking crazy. And I don't want to get political on here, but unfortunately, everything is political these days. So I'll just stop there and not mention anything more about dating, because if I do happen to mention something, somebody's going to get mad that I said something political. So even though I didn't mean to be political, so I won't say anything more about it. I'll just say that it sucks. Okay, so I got an extra one of these. Oh, right here. I found my great-grandpa was in World War II. He served for the... Oh, that's awesome, dude. That is awesome. I always like stories like that. And for me, my family's diverse because my mom's side of the family immigrated here just 2 generations ago. But my dad's family has been here, oh my gosh, some 1600s. So the history runs deep. It's kind of cool to hear stories about it, because I've actually found that one of my relatives actually fought in the American Revolutionary War in the 1700s on my dad's side. So yeah, it's always cool to find out more about your ancestors. And I watched a documentary. Well, I don't want to say it was a documentary because it was kind of BS. But I was watching some show about the early Mormon settlers and some of the crimes they committed, and they covered up. And I find it really hard to believe because, not that I'm trying to defend anybody, I'm just saying that when I hear true crime stories, there's a lot of AI out there, and some of these AIs just make up stories, and literally you can't find anything about it. And so I did my research after watching that video last night, and I couldn't find anything that matched up. So I don't think the story was real, but it was interesting, even if it wasn't real. It was a story about a guy who had 4 wives and systematically killed them off. And that's true crime. But like I said, I don't think I really believe it because I couldn't find any sources other than other YouTube videos that have been made about it. So there was nothing like concrete about it. His name was Ebenezer Whitmore, is what they said his name was. Yeah, Ebenezer Whitmore. but I couldn't find anything on it. I will say this though, getting ready for this show, building this particular build is getting a lot easier indeed, because as we get more and more pieces on the build instead of on the table, there's less pieces to sift through and find stuff, so it gets easier and easier. Okay, I heard he didn't like the switch from sides during the war because my hometown, Sicily, Italia, was invaded. That's where he was from. Yeah, that's pretty difficult to support when your very hometown is being invaded. Yeah. So I think I've told you guys about my mom side of the family, how some of them came from Germany. And it's really interesting. There's a province or state, or what do you want to call it, in Germany where it has switched between France and Germany several times. I think currently it's France. It's like, oh man, I'm going to butcher it. It's like Alsace-Lorraine or something like that. And I know I said that wrong. But it has been fought over, and it's really cool because I visited that area when I was living in Germany because we weren't that far from it. And there are towns that speak German, and there are towns that speak French. So it's kind of like a no man's land, even today. But yeah, I have some family that lived in that area back in the 1700s, and been able to trace them back that far. And it's just really cool to find stuff like that. So I'm glad you were able. I'm glad you're able to find some stuff out about your grandpa. And I bet you that makes you proud of him to know that he served for his country. All right, so we got some little table going on here. Because of some of the docks probably lost more. Oh wow, sorry to hear that, but I mean that is courageous to take a last stand like that. Okay. Oh yeah, it's right here. I was gonna say I thought I missed pieces, but nope, they're right here. So, and I have to be careful what I respond to, and it's not that I don't care about what you said, Italian Gaming, but if I were to actually come out and say what you said, my channel will get a strike. So I have to be careful because the YouTube overlords. But I like hearing stories anyways, regardless. Oh, wow. So the Germans, okay. Well, I lived in Germany for 3 years because of my wife's military service, and they are an interesting people, and I don't mean that in a mean way. I just mean that some Germans if you talk to them, they still feel bad about what happened during World War II. And I've actually had ones mention it to me, and it's like, I don't know how I feel about it, because I mean, on one hand, I can understand feeling bad about the things that happened during World War II, but on the other hand, most of these people weren't even alive when it happened, so they had nothing to do with it. So it's like, I mean, I can understand you feeling bad about it, but please don't take it too personal, because I mean, you weren't even around to take part in it. So, it's kind of a mixed bag. So what we're doing here is we're building the other side of the tram system, by the way. And the tram system just doesn't go all the way across. It goes at an angle down. Yeah, I don't know where his grave is. Yeah, I wouldn't know. I don't have any advice on that, on how to find it. I mean, there is the website Find a Grave, but that only works when people record stuff, and something like when there's so much death going on because of war, I'm not so sure that anybody recorded it. And I'm not trying to be cold or heartless. I'm just saying that's probably what you're going to be up against. And I'll be honest, when I lived in Germany, I loved living with the Germans of the modern day. They were really nice to me. And I had a lot of fun. I mean, I told you that story about how I was on the train and that German guy was kind of making fun of me, and he was a big fellow himself, and he asked me, he says, when he saw me get on the train with 4 kids, he goes, do you and your wife know how to do anything else in your spare time? And it's like, no, we don't. But I thought it was kind of funny. And then he's like, man, it looks like you're not doing so bad on the food or something like that. And I was like, I just looked at him and I was like, dude, you're not doing so bad yourself. Look at you. And he just laughed and he goes, yeah, I'm carrying a few extra. And so it was kind of refreshing to live among them, because they were just so blunt. And I mean, like I said, I mean, the guy was big himself, and when I called him out on it, he didn't get mad. He was just like, yeah, you're right. I'm big myself. And it's like, yep, you sure are, buddy. So I found the Germans fun to be around, and they got a lot of pretty girls too, that's for sure. They also got some butt ugly ones too, but we don't need to talk about that. Just living in Germany was fun. It really was. I'm reading what you're saying, Italian gaming. I just can't say too much, because that would definitely get me banned off Facebook. I am missing a piece. I'll be right back. So keep in mind that this new feature of ships in the morning is only Monday through Friday, and it's only when I don't have other appointments. So right now, I don't have anything going on next week at all. So I do plan on Monday through Friday doing the show. However, the week after that, I know that Tuesday and Friday are taken, because I got some stuff I got to do, and I did this wrong. Okay, let's do this right. Okay, this way. My favorite movie has got to be Star Wars. I mean, there's no question about it. It's always been my favorite movie. Oh, and I'm not doing a live stream tonight either. I'm just going to take the night off. I got plenty of other things to do today. All right. So we've gotten as far as I've laid out pieces too. So the instructions have not told me to combine this yet, but I know, just looking at it, that it goes like this. So this is where we're at. Oh, Star Wars New Hope. Yes, that is a good one. It's hard for me to call it a New Hope. I know they rechanged the name a long time ago, but when I was a kid, it was just called Star Wars. And they called it a New Hope in the 90s after they re-released. Anyway, so I still refer to it as Star Wars. All right, guys. So here you go. We've got the shopping center here. We got the tram kind of built. There's going to be a little red bridge that goes over this. I can't remember the rest of it because it's been so long. I know there's an ice cream shop somewhere, and I think it's on this side, if I remember right. Anyway, this is as far as we're going to get today. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. Please hit the like button, subscribe, turn on all notifications, visit my Bricklink and Etsy store. Links in the description. You guys take care of each other. Be safe out there, and I'll catch you on the next one.